Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about a bittersweet topic, which is how to process the loss of a patient. So today I found out that I have lost one of my patients. And not including when I've worked in the medical field, this is my second patient that I've lost as a mental health professional. And when I say it hits completely different, it sucks. It sucks ass. What I've learned just in these past couple of instances is acknowledge your feelings. And that's something that I failed to do in the very beginning. When I had my first loss, I did not, I cried and, I've expressed emotion, but I almost at the same token shamed myself for saying, you shouldn't really feel like that. You're a professional, this person wasn't even that close to you, X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, losing a patient is extremely difficult for many of us, because a lot of times not only is it that we're in it because we love that patient, we're in it because we love what we do, but 9 times out of 10 we've built a strong relationship with that person. We shared secrets, we shared stories. And when I say share secrets, I mean they're sharing their secrets with us. They're telling us their stories and everything that they have going on, and it's very like connecting. You can feel very much connected to your patient. And so to have a loss like that, you really have to acknowledge that you have those feelings, and don't feel as if you're being unprofessional, because you're not a robot. We all have feelings, especially as us counselors. Next is seek support. Please seek support from one of your staff, one of your leadership. Now, personally, I'm in an environment where I don't necessarily feel comfortable seeking advice, or not necessarily advice. I don't really feel comfortable getting comfort from them. I don't really feel comfortable going to them for support. And so with people who are in situations like me, I always advise you to go, if you have other coworkers, if you have old bosses, old supervisors, reach out to them, because if they're in the field, then 9 times out of 10 they're able to relate with you even better. Now, obviously, if you're unable to speak to another mental health professional, you're unable to speak about this in therapy, then of course, speak to your friends, your loved ones, but always remember, just be mindful of HIPAA. Next thing is process it in a safe space. And this is what I was talking about when seeking help or seeking support from a loved one. That is super important, to be able to process your emotions and being able to do that in a safe environment. And so being able to not only talk to loved ones about it and having that support, but also, and this is very important because this happened to me, both scenarios. I have been alerted that I've lost a patient on my shift, in the middle of my shift. And so processing it in a safe environment means getting up out of your office and walking away from any patient contact. And I say this because my first time, I did not leave my office. I just went into like a back room or some shit like that, but I was still accessible to patients. And so here I am bawling my eyes out, yet patients are still requesting me and needing me. And so today, this time around, I learned my lesson the first time. When I was alerted that was happening, I packed my stuff up calmly and I took my step and I went outside and I took a nice little break so I can compose myself and make sure that I still have enough mental capacity to be able to serve the remainder of my patients. So definitely process that loss in a safe environment. If you find out in the middle of your shift, please do not stay in the office. Please, if you can't leave for the day, at least take an early lunch, take a quick 15, do whatever you ever have to do to make sure that you are going to be safe to continue throughout the rest of your shift. The last thing is just accept that it's not your fault. For me personally, that is my biggest issue. Not necessarily for the first loss, but definitely for the second one, just because of the situation behind it. I felt as if I could have done more as a counselor, but even with me feeling like this right now, rationally, I know that it's not my fault. Rationally, I know that at the end of the day, there was nothing that I could have done to keep my patient from picking up and using. There was nothing that I could have done to prevent my patient from making the actions that they chose to do. That ended up, causing their death. And mind you, this is not me victim blaming. This is not me saying that my patient caused their death, because at the end of the day, they died of a disease. But knowing that it's a disease also lets me know that how can it be your fault either? you know? So when you are processing the loss of a patient, like, first off, I just want to like get my heart out to you, because it just sucks. It's a very, very, very sad fucking feeling, and it's like I don't want to cry, so I'm just like trying to figure out how to like word it in a way. But basically, just make sure that you're acknowledging your feelings, make sure that you're seeking support from your leadership if possible, you know, processing all of this in a safe environment, and then accepting that this is not your fault. You can't save everyone, and at the end of the day, as a social worker, your job isn't to save anyone. Your job is to give them the tools to save themselves. So if you remember that part, and I have to remind myself that too, you know, we're not here to save people. We're here to give people the tools to save themselves. So I hope that if you find this video, you find it helpful, and I'm praying that you never actually need to use any of this information. But you guys have a great day.